wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
I agree. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today, Monday, the 3rd of February, 2025. How do you do? How was your weekend? I hope you had a most peaceful, restful, engaging, productive. I could find all of those words to describe your weekend, but I'm Pearson Bowen. Good having you company, whether you're here or there, and there could literally be anywhere. Thank you so much for watching us on our streams on YouTube and Facebook, and also on our website, cbc.bb, and engaging with us as well. We encourage you also to like all of our social media platforms. That's where we are too. Also, remember, if you have an idea, something very interesting that you'd like to ask for us to share with our audience, send an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. We love it when you engage with us. So how was your weekend? Did you get any sprinkles at all anywhere? The wind, I love the breezes that we're enjoying right across the island over the past few weeks, really. Sweet. I wish it could last so for the rest of the year indeed, but we know how life is. Every good thing must come to an end at some point, and so we're excited about the cooling breezes at night. I have a question for you today. I'm serious, I have a question for you. Tell me one goal that you'd like to achieve this week. One goal which you'd like to achieve this week. Now, you know what to do, don't you? You can give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563. It's that simple. I will stop what I'm doing to take your call. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Tell me one goal which you'd like to achieve this week. Simple, Simon made the payment. Don't make it too difficult. Don't make it too difficult, because when you set yourself these difficult goals, then you don't achieve them. So it could very well be that this week you shall endeavor to make sure that your shoes are not left at the door. That could very well be it. Or for me, that I will wash up dishes right away once I've used them. That is one goal you might want to think of. So don't pressure yourself so much that you find it difficult. So give us a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Now, yesterday, my mother celebrated her birthday. So do you, Mummy? Congratulations to you. She's one of those big numbers. I shan't call it. But Daddy would have celebrated his a couple days from now as well. So he would have been 93 had he been alive. And then after that is my sister Waveney. She'll be celebrating as well in this week. All of those are coming up. But my godchildren and their mother are celebrating on Wednesday. So to Christopher, Michael, and Catherine, congratulations in advance. Wednesday coming, I will remind you of the birthday, lest you forget, but I'll be able to celebrate you then as well. So one goal that you'd like to achieve this week, what is it? 228-5562 or 228-5563, or you can comment away on our Facebook pages as well. Now, coming up today, the Barbados Association of Guidance Counselors are engaging in a week of activities under the theme, Stronger Together, Helping Schools Thrive. What does that mean? And how are they celebrating that activity this week? We'll find out. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Mr. Boy.
Well, hello. How are you? And you are...
Hello.
What's your name?
Mr. Boy, the one thing I would like is for the people on CBC to get every day correct.
Every day correct.
Every day is 2 words when it means each and every day.
Oh, I get you.
It is every day together when it means casual or anything else. Please help the young people to understand the English language.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Every day we should, and every day we shall endeavor to do and get better as well. That could be your goal, to get better every single day. So as I was telling you, that the Barbados Association of Guidance Counselors are having a week of activities under that theme. Strive Stronger Together, Helping Schools Thrive. They'll join us and talk about that. Also, last Saturday, things got off the ground in St. Peter. And boy, have they hit the ground really hard. We shall talk about that in just a little while, as well as the Minister and the Member of Parliament for St. Peter joins us right here. Let's take this call now. Good morning. Hello.
Peace be on each and every one. For me this week, to achieve the things that I want to achieve for the week.
Go ahead. What would that be? To achieve the things that you would want to achieve?
Maintenance and doctor's checkup.
Do you have an appointment this week?
Pardon me?
Do you have a doctor's appointment this week?
Yeah.
What would prevent you from making your appointment?
Sometimes something happens, you just can't make it.
All right, fair enough. All right, Gail, thank you here.
You're welcome.
Have a good day. Now, the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, they continue to respond to the pulse of the people, and so there's now Series 3 of the Pulse Radio Show. They'll join us this morning to talk about that and a whole lot more. And have you heard of the delicious combination of PB and J? What do you think of right away? PB and J. I'm sure you're thinking peanut butter and jelly or peanut butter and jam. But when Andre Daniel meets us this morning, he'll put a different twist to that. And so I can't wait to hear from him what that's about. The National Sports Council is having their inter-school cheerleading competition. We'll get to know who is going to be a part of it, the schools that will be represented, and the rules, so to get a sense of when it is, where it will be, and how we can all be a part. And then we have a Bajan Afar who, at the age of 7, left this rock. She went all over the world, and now she's planted herself in India. Why? And what's she up to right there? So we'll get to connect with her in just a little while as well. It's the month of February, which we call Black History Month. But do you know the history of Black History Month? Do you have any idea whatsoever? I want to share a little bit with you now. Have you ever heard of the man Carter G. Woodson? I'm being serious. Have you ever heard of him? Well, he was the one who established Negro History Month week in 1926 of all years. And so it continues even today. Also, this month of February is National Cancer Prevention Month. We began the conversation last week, and we want to be able to continue the conversation throughout the month. And so we'll share with you of some of the risks, some of the kinds of cancers that are presenting, and how you should get yourself checked just to be sure. Just to be sure. Also, let's remind you of this exciting competition for Valentine's that we have on CBC TV at Mornin Barbados in particular. I'm sure you've heard of Vacation. How do you enter? And when do you enter by? Can we take a look? I guess not yet. But don't forget, you have until the 15th of February to get your entries in. They give me the thumbs up. We're ready to go. Take a look.
Get away.
Are you and your bae ready for the ultimate getaway? 98.1 The One and Mornin Barbados are teaming up to give 4 lucky couples a chance to win an unforgettable vacation. Here's the deal. Starting January 20th through February 15th, send us a video to marketing@cbc.bb or via WhatsApp to 467-5465, telling us why you and your bae deserve a vacation. Videos must be 30 to 90 seconds long and may be shared on social media and on TV8. Be creative, be fun, and most importantly, show us the love. Submit your video and you and your bae could be packing your bags for an epic staycation. So, what are you waiting for? Send those videos in and let's make it a vacation to remember.
Vacation.
Get away.
This promotion is brought to you by our valued sponsors, Pine Hill Dairy, Burger King, Post Wireless World, Girlfriend Expo and Arts Festival 2025, The Magic of Carnival, Hilton Barbados, Coconut Court Hotel, Ross Trevor Hotel, 98.1 The One, and Mornin Barbados.
Simple Simon made the payment. Simple like that, it's going to be epic. So do get your videos into us, 30 seconds to 90 seconds long, telling your love story basically, and why you and your bae should be awarded a vacation. You can send it by WhatsApp to 467-5465 or send an email to marketing@cbc.bb. You have until the 15th of this month. Today is the 3rd, another 12 days, and then oops, you stop, you can't do anymore. One other thing I want to give you advance notice of, it is that 98.1 The One, our big radio station, the party station here at CBC, they're having their birthday coming up on the 23rd of February. Well, an activity. This activity is going to be at Copacabana in the form of a party from 4 in the afternoon right through to 11 in the evening, and all of your 98.1 The One DJs as they go play a fiesta at Copacabana. Now, you pay $20 before 6, and after 6 o'clock, you'll pay $30. This event is for 18 years and older. So for those of you 18 years and older, it is for you. It's 11 after 6 o'clock. Now let's get started. As we turn our attention and we head north, we're going to the Parish of St. Peter, which has as its theme for We Gathering 2025, Heritage. And boy, oh boy, did they have a grand start. It makes me from St. Lucie feel real jealous almost. And so joining me right now is the Member of Parliament for St. Peter, Mr. Colin Jordan. Good morning to you, Colin.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning. And no need to feel jealous. St. Peter and St. Lucie always work well together.
Yeah, we do work well together. But you had such a tremendous start. You started on the 1st of February.
Yes.
And I know you would have had the walk early in the morning around 5:30.
Yes, the Heritage Walk.
Which I heard was resounding.
Yes, that went well. From all reports, it went very well.
Yeah, but for me, it was important that walk happened because there's so many places that you would have traveled in the walk that I think stories need to be told of.
Yes, because Speightstown is so rich and full of history and heritage. Speightstown, it's in Varon, so the walk went through Speightstown, but it also went up to Cordial and Parish, Dover Fort, and then came back to Speightstown. So it was an opportunity to share some of the history, some of the heritage, some of the stories with those who attended, and a good time was had by all.
Yes,
and it was also a good way to start the month, the theme of the month, which is heritage, as you indicated earlier. So starting bang on time on the very first morning, even before the sun came up, was the appropriate way to start.
In the dark of the day, they went out on the street and had a good time indeed. I like the fact that so many people actually came.
Yeah.
When I think of Dover Fort, for instance, there at Coleridge and Parry, and I think of those cannons, which are still there, and the distance they would have had to travel to get to the sea, the beach, indeed, if anyone was seeking to invade our coastlines. Well,
what I've been told is that to reach the sea, the forts on the coast were the ones that were used.
Okay.
So we had Haywood's Fort, we had Orange Fort, we had Coconut Fort, and we had Fort Denmark.
Really?
So those 4 forts in very close proximity to get out to sea. Dover, I've been told, was for situations where the defenses, so to speak, were breached. Then, and you reach land, you reach shore, Dover Fort was designed to take you out at that point.
And this is good what you just shared, because that's information about the heritage in St. Peter that a lot of us probably didn't, I certainly didn't know that those additional forts were there.
Yeah.
And so as people visit the Parish of St. Peter this month, immerse yourself in this history.
So that our second event, which was on the same first, was Q in the community.
Right.
Now, CBC, Q 100.7, but Q was held at Hayman's Market. Now, Hayman's is part of our heritage.
Yes.
After the windmills and the steam mills, the idea of the sugar factory came into vogue. And Hayman's has been the sugar factory for St. Peter for decades in the 20th century. And so having Q in the community at Hayman's was also a presentation of some of our heritage, because Hayman's has been adaptively reused so that there is still the elements of the factory. It hasn't been torn down, so that you can walk into the factory where many of our forefathers labored, where many people went in to get cane juice, cracked liquor, all those things, so a lot of history, a lot of heritage in those events.
And you went there, I'm so glad you did, because my aunt's husband, one of my aunt's husbands, he was the manager at Hayman. So I could connect with this personally.
Okay.
So I know of the factory for almost as long as I've been alive and what goes on there. But now, as you've said, they've been able not to destroy the integrity of the location, but to find a way to modernize it, so to speak, and adapt it to current day situations. So that was fantastic. I know many people were there till the Kingdom come.
Yeah, lots and lots of people, lots and lots of people at 10 o'clock. When we were ending it, people didn't want to leave.
No.
Didn't want to leave.
That's the Q in the community experience anyway.
Yes.
And then on Sunday, we were off to the St. Philip the Less Anglican Church.
Yes. And that was a great experience, a rich worship experience. Again, a connection with St. Lucie. This year, next month, St. Philip de Less celebrates 165 years, consecrated by Bishop Parish, the Parish School,
Yes.
St. Lucie. And you would know that this month is also Amalgamation. Amalgamation
right.
Week will take place in this month.
That's right.
Amalgamation Week, Cauldron Parish, Courage, and
And
Parish.
Parish.
So that second bishop consecrated St. Philip de Less 165 years ago, and we were able to be worshiping in that space. The worship experience itself was a real combination of what you may consider the traditional Anglican experience, as well as some Pentecostal type experience. And St. Philip de Less was able to bring some of the other churches in the Boscobel community into that single space to have a really rich and rewarding experience.
You talked about Bishop Parry. There was also Bishop Courage. The Anglican Church itself, just last week, also remembered him, his arrival in Barbados 200 years ago. So, CP, come on, man. We are central to a lot that really happened, not just in the Anglican Church, but in history of Barbados. And so this whole month, when you encapsulate everything and you look at all of the activities and all that St. Peter has to offer, what do you think, how would you describe the richness of that heritage?
I say always that St. Peter is central to the historical development of Barbados. Central, I use central, I don't say pivotal, but central, because so much took place in St. Peter. If you start close to the beginning, now the landing is in St. James, 1627, well, the settlement, 1627. By 1629, there is St. Peter's Parish Church.
Wow.
Right? By 1630, Spikestown is established. You have in 1675 the plan for the first island-wide plan for rebellion, where Cuffy was to be enthroned, well, we say installed in the Ashanti tradition as King of Barbados, 1675. That enthronement was to happen in Spikestown. The plot was uncovered, and the brutal execution of those who were involved took place in Spikestown. So we have all of that, and that is what allows us to have that connection with Cape Coast, for example, because Cuffy was from what was then called Gold Coast, which we know is the area around Cape Coast in Ghana at this point. And then there is the connection with Bristol. A lot of the sugar was transported to Bristol from Spikestown. And so, because almost all of the sugar from the north came to Spikestown to be shipped out. So a lot of the history, that early development, the second Jewish synagogue in Barbados was also in Spikestown.
Really?
Yes, it was in Spikestown. There was a second Jewish synagogue, and that was in Spikestown. So there was a thriving Jewish settlement also in Spikestown. So there is really lots centered there. St. Peter, for example, still has 27 or 28 mill walls, what we call mill walls.
Yes.
Still standing, and so there is so much history, and we want to share that history with the wider country and with the world. And we believe that we can share it in a combination of ways. So we're going to have the talking sharing, the lecture type sharing with schools. We go into schools on Wednesday, actually, to share some presentations. We also do it in the community in a historic location. So there is the festive approach to sharing, but sharing nonetheless. And our intention is that we share in a variety of ways. There are those who prefer the party way of sharing.
Yes.
There are those who want to sit down, listen, and absorb. There's going to be something for everybody. So, for example, when Spikestown Life comes around on
this Saturday,
Spikestown Live, and we're going to be celebrating those connections that I said, connections with Bristol and with Cape Coast. But Spikestown, we're going to be having Spikestown Live in a historic space. And as part of the celebration, there is going to be, I'm not going to give too many details because you need to come to experience.
That's right.
But part of the plan is that there's going to be a segment for Spooge. So there are going to be some artists from the past in one segment who are going to be there. And, we are, through a variety of means, intending to share, to educate, to enlighten, and to allow Barbadians to recognize that where we are now, we didn't just wake up there. We got there.
Yes.
So that even, I'm Minister of Labour, so the trade union movement, Spike is the birthplace of the Right Excellent Sir Frank Leslie Walker.
That's right.
Longest serving General Secretary. It is also the birthplace of Kieran R. Husbands, Sir
Yes.
Kieran R. Husbands, who was Assistant General Secretary to Sir Frank. So there is that legacy. St. Peter's produced a head of state in the form of Sir Elliot Belgrave. St. Peter's produced a head of government.
Yes.
The Right Honourable Owen Seymour Arthur. St. Peter now produces a Chief Justice. The current Chief Justice
Yes.
is resident of St. Peter. So St. Peter has a lot to be proud of, and we celebrate the fact that where we are, we have built on a lot that has gone before, and we believe that heritage as a theme is really, really well suited to St. Peter.
You are so right. Some of you watching are probably going to say, but St. Peter is much more than Spike. So you're right. You're right. So we're going to take some time to go across the country and the parish of St. Peter, and we'll talk a lot more about that when we come right back after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it. Oh, Barbados. Hey!
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
23 minutes after 6 o'clock, as we continue to delve into the history, the heritage of St. Peter, as we ourselves get ready to engage with all of the activities for Regathering 2025 in the parish of St. Peter in the month of February. And there's so much going on. You would have heard a little bit more about the history just now. We want to get into a little bit more modern day as well, as we're also joined by Shakeen Howell, who is the PRO of the St. Peter Organizing Committee. And of course, with him still is the Minister, the Member of Parliament, the Honourable Colin Jordan. Shakeen, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. How do you do?
I'm all right today.
Good. Today?
Yes, please.
Okay. So are you comfortable that we have a good slate of activities that will definitely engage and titilize everyone when they come to St. Peter?
I think for me personally, comfortable is an understatement. I'm overjoyed, I'm excited, and I'm looking forward for all of Barbados joining me in St. Peter this month.
I'm excited too about what's the word, Pearson? I was going to say display. That's not what I'm talking about. Today, starting today and running right through for the rest of the month, upstairs the Republic Bank.
Yes, please. We have our art exhibition, Roots
That's
and
the word.
Branches.
Exhibition.
Yes,
not display.
please.
Yes.
Yes, please. So we have our art exhibition, Roots and Branches, which is curated by Miss Haynes. And there we're celebrating the emerging artists in Barbados, the vintage artists, those who are veterans in their own craft, and being able to ensure that the rich visual art culture and being able to show those cultural connections between Barbados and Africa continue for our next generation to come. Heritage in all forms, this month we're going to be celebrating.
And part of that heritage, Mr. Jordan, is the contribution of people like Dorothy Cook Johnson.
Yes.
A story that has to be told.
Yes. In your intro, you spoke to cancer awareness, and you started the discussion last week. You continue it this week. Tuesday, February 4th is World Cancer Day. And what a lot of people do not know, and this is why we talk about building on heritage. Late Dr. Dorothy Cook Johnson was a resident of St. Peter early on. And she had a lived experience that out of it came the Barbados Cancer Society. Yes. She came from the UK to Barbados to her husband, and they got married. He was a resident of St. Peter from Rose Hill, actually. Very active in the St. Peter Parish Church early on. But he died of cancer just at around the time when their child was going to be born. And out of that experience, she was driven to create the Barbados Cancer Society. And we thought that this year we should celebrate her work, her life, and the heritage of her experience is the Barbados Cancer Society. So that on Tuesday morning, we have a wreath laying at St. Peter Parish Church, where both she and her husband were laid to rest, are interred, and the Barbados Cancer Society will be part of that wreath laying. They will also be conducting cancer screenings throughout the day. And then in the evening, there is a discussion, presentation at St. Peter Parish Church, again, along the theme of cancer and cancer awareness. So we are celebrating her life, we are celebrating her work using the Cancer Awareness Month and World Cancer Day in particular.
That's tomorrow, folks. That's tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow. Don't forget. But I know all week long, yes, you can be having the Roots and Branches exhibition. Pearson keeps calling it the exhibition. But then on Saturday, Shakim, there's alongside the regathering in Space Town, we're also having the restaurant week starting.
Yes, please. Next week, most definitely, we have our Dine in St. Peter experience. St. Peter has so many different restaurants, cut shops, village shops, and we want persons to come and enjoy the rich heritage cuisine of our parish. So we have a wider range of menus from breakfast, lunch, and dinner being offered at special accommodated prices. And we encourage everyone to just come down, explore. We see a wider range of different restaurant brands being established over the past few years of things Spice Town. So if you don't know what we have down there to offer, I invite you to come and see what we have to offer so you could go and tell somebody else.
And I'm telling you, as you drive through Spice, so you see so many different restaurants have popped up, which is good for development.
Yes, very good for development. And last night we launched the exhibition, Roots and Branches, and after I left, and by the way, Roots and Branches, the exhibition is located, as you said, upstairs the Republic Bank building. For those who know where the library and the post office is, it is on that side. Right. But after I left, you drive through Queen Street, and there are cars everywhere. Everywhere. Spice Town is very popular where dining is concerned, and like Shakim said, we want to show that, we want to demonstrate that. The menus are wide and varied. It is not a situation where it is only European or modern, or wide and varied, and we really want to encourage Barbadians to come to St. Peter, come to Spice Town, and enjoy what we have to offer with respect to cuisine.
And that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All of the meals that we are accustomed to, you can have all next week, this week, in Spice Town indeed. But also, speaking of which, Minister, St. Peter on the Bay, that's one I'm fascinated by, because Sixmans has been known to be the fishing center, not just of Barbados, but also of St. Peter. Yes,
and I'm glad you said not just of Barbados, because it is what we refer to as the authentic fishing village in Barbados. It is a village that contains all things maritime. And so when we think about St. Peter on the water, and again, maybe I should go back, St. Peter, fisherman, the association with water. St. Peter also has 2 coastlines.
That's right.
St. Peter has, everybody knows the West Coast, St. Peter has an East Coast, right? So somewhere between Cove Bay and just past Pico Tenerife. That is the East Coast.
It's narrow, but it still is.
But it's the East Coast, and we claim it. So we claim it. And so St. Lucie has 3 coasts, west, north, and we have 2. But so you can't talk about St. Peter without talking about water and maritime. Sixmans, as you said, the authentic fishing village. And so St. Peter on the water will center at Sixmans, net throwing, boat race, Moses. There'll be lifeguard demonstration, and there'll be entertainment. So the heritage of a village that is absolutely proud of its maritime heritage and history. Some people don't know. The legend has it that the name came from the Europeans sailing down, the English sailing down the coast early on, 1627, and seeing 6 men on the beach. And when they attempted to engage them, they jumped into a canoe apparently and sailed away. Legend has it that is where the name came from. But again,
As
related to
simple as
the sea, as simple as that. But we're going to celebrate the maritime heritage of the parish at St. Peter on the Water.
That is going to be such a spectacular day indeed. I really want all of you, you don't have to be from St. Peter alone. Everyone from every parish in Barbados needs to be a part of that activity. And that's happening on the 9th.
9th.
Yes, please.
Yes.
That's next week, Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Please.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday. Oh my gospel. And who knows, you might very well get some fish to go home fresh and to prepare for Sunday's lunch and probably Monday, Tuesday as well. Now, Shakeen, I know you're going to be having a big family picnic as well. Where is that and when is that?
So for our big family picnic, we're having it at the Farley Hill National Park. As you know, that is a place rich of heritage, rich of culture, from movie scenes to from movie scenes to having even a wonderful nature picturesque view over the Scotland district. A lot of persons don't understand how nature can play a huge role in bringing a sense of peace and calm. And those old back in time family values, being able to cook that food, come and share, and celebrating who we are as Barbadian people is what we're encouraging each and every one of us to do on the 16th of February. And that is going to be starting from as early as 11 a.m. So pack your baskets, come to Farley Hill National Park. We also have another event there in collaboration with the NCC on the 14th, which you'll see advertising, which is a Valentine's Day event. So being able to support every single element of this whole of Barbados exercise. That is the one thing that I'm very proud about being a part of this POC. Collaboration with the PAC, collaboration with NCC, being able to see the synergies across the different institutions in Barbados. It shows me that we are indeed standing strong as an institution where we are looking at every single person playing a part in this week gathering exercise. So everyone come out this week to Farley Hill, pick your favorite picnic spot, because I be looking for mine. I serious.
Not just the gazebo.
Not just the gazebo. So that when you get there on the 16th for gathering on the hill, you'll come and hear a wider range of artists. You have tug of war, you'll have lime and spoon. Come and teach your next generation, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, of all the games from Worry, all the little things you to do, tug of war, water balloon war. Like I sit down and listen to the stories of my grandparents, and I hear about walking from one place to the next, and this church service in the morning, and it was like, how y'all used to get all this during one Sunday?
You just do it.
Yeah,
one
that
Sunday?
was the resilience. You just do it.
Yes, and the timing of the gathering is to allow for those who will be attending church to go to church and then come after, and that's why Shakim indicated that we start at around 11. So you go, you worship, and then you can come over, bring your lunch, and you know.
And that's the beauty of the whole thing, you know. So when you cook, don't eat at the table this time around. Pack it up, get into your whatever, and you come down to Farley Hill, come over to Farley Hill, spread your blankets, spread your tablecloths, even, and just have a good time and let the children run. You know, that old ruins there, the great house at Farley Hill is such a fantastic location. It's scenic, and if you haven't been to Farley Hill in a while, they've done tremendous work to that park. Really well.
Did you visit over the Christmas period?
No, I didn't. I saw the lights, but I didn't get a chance to visit.
Fantastic.
Let me tell you.
Shakim mentioned the collaboration on the 14th. The theme is intended to be red and white. And so Farley Hill, on the night of the 14th, the lights, red and white. Valentine's Day, Valentine's night. It's gonna be awesome.
Spectacular. I love it.
Spectacular.
I love it indeed. So on Valentine's Day, cheese on, bro. That's next week Friday. That's next week Friday. So next week Friday night at Farley Hill National Park, and as I told you, it has been transformed. The NCC has really kept that property well. It's really a beautiful space to be.
I want
a park and a park area for children.
For children, a children's park. I just, sorry to have attempted to cross you, but it just crossed me. I think I need publicly to thank NCC. Shakim started to say that, but they have, we were a bit scared that neglect would cause the ruins to fall. They've started to remove some of the trees whose roots can pull the thing apart. And they've indicated to me that there is much more in store in terms of the restoration. So I'm not going to go into that, but they are focusing, NCC is focusing on the restoration. They have it to the point where during the Christmas period and for Valentine's, they were able to go inside, and the lighting of those ruins through those windows and doorways was just fantastic.
Because
I did the goosebumps. I realized
this is fantastic.
It is.
So I'm so interested in that great house because I took the time then on YouTube to go find if there's anything that would tell me what it looked like when it was complete.
And they say it was built to be a replica of Buckingham Palace.
Yes.
That is what it said.
And there's a movie that was shot there.
Yes.
Island in
the Sun.
Yes,
Island
it
in the
is.
Sun.
And you can find it on YouTube, by the way. So I got a chance, and I shared it with my family as well, to look. I wasn't born when it was in vogue, but definitely now you can see for yourself just how spectacular that location truly was, and a house really was. So I'd love for it to be restored as much as possible to its former and original glory. It really is a fantastic location. But you're also going to be throughout the month having a number of recognition awards. Yes, we have the Pride of Barbados Awards. That takes place in the final week of the month. Just like St. Lucy's, it will take place at State House. And the deadline for nominations was on Friday. So the committee that is tasked with determining who the awardees will be, I assume will be at work in this intervening period, this week, next week probably. And we will get to know who those awardees are. There are lots of people who've contributed, and we awarded some of those in 2020. We don't know who the slate will be, who will be on the slate for this toss, but we will be recognizing those persons who have contributed. And we have a pattern in St. Peter of recognizing. So that 2 years ago, the Parish Independence Committee had a project, some heroes of St. Peter. And there is a monument just off the BTI car park where some of those names have been written. And that is why on Wednesday, we go into our primary and secondary schools, there are 7 of them in all, and we go into each one of those in the morning simultaneously to share stories of some of our heroes, because there are too many. We can't say stories of our heroes. There are just too many. And we're going to share some of those with the young people of Barbados, because we believe that the heritage also must be transmitted. Young people must know what has gone before and what the society has been built on. So we are doing that. We're also going to be honoring a stalwart of St. Peter, the late Eard Atherley. Taught at Coach and Parish as well for many years, a repository of a lot of the history of the parish. He has died, but we're going to honor him through a school quiz. Again, a more exciting way to get some of the heritage through to our young people. And you'll realize that even on this set, you see older and younger. So that the idea, the oldest.
The idea is transmission.
Yes. Oldest, next, down to the end, and that's all right. But so today, because I'm being told I need to wrap. So today, Shakim, just remind us what's happening today.
So today, what we really have happening on the ground is that the team is actually going to be down at the St. Peter Parish Church preparing for tomorrow. Originally, we are working and having meetings with our stakeholders to have our tree planting exercise to take place next week. We do know that is one of the things that we have one tree for every Bajan exercise, and that is what's really going to be happening on today. And as we get ready for Friday, which is the Newton Lewis road tennis competition, as you know, he was one of our own who passed away out of the line of duty, but there to protect and serve one another. And we're collaborating with the Barbados Police Service to have that road tennis competition launched this Friday. And every single Friday, we'll be going through diverse communities, showcasing our national sport. So come out, line with us every single Friday and learn about road tennis. And these are exhibition matches. So if you don't even know anything about road tennis, come and learn about our national sport, road tennis.
Indeed. And this one on Friday is at Diamond Corner.
Diamond Corner. Right, and we move around. Diamond Corner, Black Bess, Maynards, and Spitestown. But today, Roots and Branches, the exhibition, upstairs, the library in Spitestown.
Fantastic. Spice Out comes alive on Saturday. We're going to be there as well. You'll get to see it right here on CBC TV 8. Friday, we're going to be coming into your parish as well for Morning Barbados. At points, we'll be doing some reports. So we, talk to my producer, make sure that we connect to the right places and the right people as well. We're giving our full support to St. Peter as they engage in this month of heritage for the Regathering Celebration 2025. Member of Parliament Colin Jordan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Pearson.
You're welcome. Shakeem Howell, the Public Relations Officer of the Parish Organizing Committee.
Yes, please.
I am excited. I know that many people watching now are equally excited because there's something happening every single day.
Yes.
And you've got to be there. Don't miss a single thing.
Yes.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My friend, you don't plan to get it. Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game with Dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 17 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock. If you added peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and jam, don't they sound great together? Don't they sound fantastic? Can you imagine sinking your teeth into that and the satisfaction you get from just that one experience? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Not peanut butter and jelly. We're talking about PB&J. And they mean something to Andre Daniel, who joins me now. Andre, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson.
What does PB&J mean?
It actually means personal best and Jesus.
Personal best.
Personal best.
And Jesus.
And Jesus.
My personal...
Always better together.
Always better together. So if I put my personal best with Jesus,
yes,
you better believe it's a greater experience.
It is the best outcome ever.
But my personal best could be anything.
Well, I'm hoping that it will be all things positive and all things encouraging to others, yeah.
Indeed. So if you had one, what's your one goal that you'd like to achieve this week?
My one goal for this week will be to get everyone who hears this message to read at least 20 minutes a day with their children from now until.
20 minutes a day.
20 minutes every day with their children.
Going forward.
Going forward.
Why do you think that's a laudable goal?
Yeah, well, because you know what? We have a situation in Barbados. I mean, it's not the most pleasant thing to talk about, but our literacy is dropping. The quality of our students is dropping. The whole attitude that we have. We have students that are now not graduating with more than 5 CXCs, including math and English. I mean, we're talking 5% across the region. We're talking 39% of persons taking math exams not being able to pass with a pass rate of 35 to 43%, right? So I'm thinking that we can talk about it. We can blame everybody about it. We can say, what is the government doing? Or we as parents can start reading with our children for understanding, helping them to see us do it so that we can model something for them, right? And I'm thinking, it's just the start. We know social change takes a while, right? But I'm thinking we start something and then we start to enjoy it. So that's the launch of this.
To read with your child at least for 20 minutes every day.
I would like to go for more, but we're talking about manageable, right?
Yeah, exactly. But why is it important to read or to know how to read?
Oh, well, here's a challenge. I have come across so many young persons today that struggle with reading. Now, if you think about reading means that you're able to decode what's on the paper. But if you can't decode what's on the paper, then you can't comprehend it. So we talk about reading and we think, hello, let's talk about just reading. But we go through ABCs, we look at words on a paper, but it doesn't resonate and change lives because children are stuck at just decoding, and that's a challenge. So I am saying if we get into the practice of doing it, especially with young children coming up and they see parents doing it, then they fall into it. But now parents just leave children, right? There's a lot of research that says parents leave children to themselves to be babysat by computers and devices because they come home from work and they're tired. So I know this is going to be a hit. But the trouble with it is that if we don't do it, we're going to be in a circular pattern of blaming everyone. And I want to see that change in our society.
Have you put this approach into practice?
Before my children were born, my daughter is 22, my son is 20. Before they were born, I bought books. My then wife, when I found out she was pregnant, the first thing I did was I went into Cave Shepherd and I bought a handful of books. So it's interesting because my daughter, I can't speak much about my son at the moment, but my daughter is an avid reader. In fact, she told me last week that her most prized possession is her library. Would you believe that? It's crazy. But I have lots of books and I enjoy reading too. I do not go to bed any night without reading, right? So I'm thinking that practice, yes. And it's something that I tell my students all the time. I tell them all the time, listen, we live in a society now where everything is available for you. You go online, you can download things for free. So why not use that to build your intellect? Why not use that to build your skill set? Don't just go on and take snaps and send worthless things all over the place. Develop yourself because you then become the leader of the next generation. And I always tell them, this seat is available for you.
Right.
Whenever I'm teaching, I say, I am teaching you because I want you to be better than me because this seat is available for you. So I'm hoping that we take that and parents start really investing that time in their young ones.
So how do you intend to take this initiative and reach into family? Talk to me, Andre, without even me finishing the question. Tell me.
You are asking. Listen, I've been trying to do this now for the last year, but I was going a different route. I'm going to be knocking on doors. I'm calling businesses. I'm saying, listen, I need 20 minutes with your staff. I just want 20 minutes. I'm walking in with a projector. I'm doing this like how Joseph Nile sells CDs. I'm going door to door. Listen, you got to understand this because I'm serious about it. Everywhere I'm talking about it, I'm talking to people about it. I'm saying, listen, can I have a few minutes on your radio station to talk about it? Can I go and say a couple of words in your church about it? Because the truth is, it has to become widespread. I'm going to talk to whoever I can talk to. If I could get a sign put up, I can get a sign. But if you tell me, listen, you could string cross something, I can string it cross. Because at the end of the day, the reality is that if we don't get the message out, if we don't start to inundate people with the messaging, it's not going to get, and it's not popular.
Yes.
Because everybody wants a screen, right? Beg your pardon. But if we can get this mainstream, if we can get people just at least thinking about it and starting a conversation, then we have a point there.
So it's personal best and Jesus
better
together.
And Jesus, yeah.
Now, the Jesus part? Because I don't want people to think for a second that this is all a religious indoctrination that you're engaging in. So what is it then? How do you respond to that person who thinks that way?
So I guess I would have to give a little bit of context for personal best in Jesus. So maybe sometime back in 2018, I went to a conference. I wasn't into social media. I was glaringly absent from social media. I didn't like Facebook. I didn't like any of those things. But I went to a conference and did not know what impact it would have. I was invested in with Dr. Charles and Dr. Clifton Charles and Pearl, his wife. And what happened was, at that conference, I learned a lot of skills that I wasn't using because I really wasn't thinking about it, right? But then I came back and put it to bed, put it to sleep. I thought, okay, this is just going to be, an inspirational thing. One night I woke up with I woke out of my bed with this thought, PB and J always better together, and I wrote down something on a piece of paper. And I said, this is way too big for you. This is something for a church to do, or some organization that has money. And I went fast off to sleep. And then COVID hit.
Yes.
Right? Now, COVID hitting meant that I was now separated from my students. At that time, I was running a devotional inside of a gospel ensemble with my students. And now we don't have it. So then the only way to get the message to them was to start a YouTube channel. And then I started it, and then I thought, okay, that's all it will be, right? And I put everything that I had written on that paper out of mind. I was doing some studying at the time, and then all of a sudden I finished studying. COVID was still full flight, and I would hasten to say, some people say the voice of God. Well, I felt this compulsion. Okay, so Andre, you're not studying anymore. What are you going to do? This is what you need to do. And I'm still battling with that in my mind, saying, you know what? It's not for me. But at the end of the day, we can see a problem, we can talk about a problem, but until we actively take steps, regardless of what resources we have, we don't address the problem. I decided, you know what? I'm going to take this step to do something different in our society.
So you've designed this program, PB and J, Personal Best and Jesus. So, and you're going to be knocking on doors, visiting offices. You're just going to bombard. It has to be bombardment.
I'm doing it. It's going to happen.
So who is it for? Is there any particular age range? Because you're talking about sitting with your child,
right?
But there's some adults as well who struggle with comprehension because they don't
believe it or not. Yes. So for me, I'm not the smartest person in the world, and I'm thinking if I start a conversation, I'm hoping that some other smart minds get involved and they will bring some solutions to the table. Because if they bring solutions to the table, then we can all try to see how we can move our society. Because it's not that they don't see that the problem exists, right? But if we just talk about it, but if they see someone who has no resources doing something, then they'll say, hey, you know what, maybe we can partner along, maybe we can do this, maybe we can add this, maybe we can augment this, maybe we can do more. And that's the objective.
The example. And so interesting, because then I was thinking, okay, yeah, Jesus was an excellent example as well, because in the face of all the adversity happening around him, he pressed on knowing what the objective was.
Listen to me. So for me, when I look at how this works, and I see children, and I see examples of how children are supposed to be molded. There's a scripture that actually literally talked with my daughter about it, so it just came to mind. There's a scripture that says, like arrows are in the hands of the warrior, so our children are, right? In other words, people are supposed to see the things that are going wrong in their society, and they're supposed to see their children as things that they can shoot into those problems to change those things, right? And one of the things that we have in our society, we talk about the crime, we talk about the illiteracy, all of those things stem from just basic grounding. If we get our children into reading, we get them more settled. If we get our children into reading, we actually get them to be more critical thinkers. If we get our children into reading, we get them to be more imaginative. There's a whole host of things that improve when we get our children into reading.
Taken. But is reading the only way to end?
No.
Go ahead.
No. Reading is not the only way. But interestingly enough, reading is one of the few ways. I mean, okay, let's try this. How do we get a degree? We don't watch TV for a degree. It's still called reading for a degree. So many of our young people cannot matriculate into avenues of higher education because they're not reading. And that is a challenge. I mean, maybe many years back, Professor Hilary Beckles had this vision of Barbados being a knowledge society.
Yes.
That vision cannot be realized without reading. It can't be realized if our young people, the vast majority of which are men, because men are really high on this list of underachieving, and that is another burden of mine, but we're not going to talk about that at this point. But if we do not find a way to address it and nip it. So you asked me about the vision of PB&J. One of the things that is a goal of mine, and for since I set it up, is that I want to go to class 3 and 4 of primary, forms 1 and 2 of secondary, and I want to do 4-week programs because I don't believe in 1-week engagements, right? I don't believe in one-off things, but making sure that you drill down and help our young people to see that they are the solution for the problems in our society. If I can do that in the time that I have left with my life, I would be happy.
But the quiver belongs to the parent.
The quiver is the parent.
They need, correct. So they also need support.
Yes.
Does your program look at that so that they can now take on these new skill sets?
It does. It does. So happily, I'm married to a wonderful woman who's a guidance counselor, who's a school counselor, who also did educational psychology. And she also partners with me within this charity as well. And apart from that, I have a load of resources that I pull from so that if I encounter things that need to be addressed, I can channel people to those resources. And that is something that I value those relationships, right? Because without those relationships, and of course, without the relationships of wider society, our efforts are not going to be worthwhile. They will be futile, but we need each other, which is why one of the core values of PB&J is interdependency, where we all bring our skill sets to the table and we tackle the goals on.
I can hear someone saying, but how, okay, I trust Andre, I know Andre, I want to be a part of Andre's initiative. How can people be a part of this?
Oh, people can be a part of it, well, first by participating, let's work together and see if this can work, because we want to shift it by degrees. Now, if you find that you can do it, share what you're doing, share the strategies that you're using. I'm active on the social medias. When you see the post come up, share what you're doing. Encourage others. Don't even just respond to my post. Actually, call in on brass tacks. Tell people, or whatever social forum you are on, call in and tell these people, listen, this is what I'm doing. Word of mouth. When we meet in our PTAs, I know that's probably not as popular as before, but when we meet in our PTAs, encourage people.
Yes. You know, we have a call-in program here called Let's Talk About It.
Let's talk about it.
Fantastic. Monday to Friday from 9 in the morning.
That sounds like you're getting me in on it.
Because you said something that triggered that for me too. So I'm telling you now that that's a program there. And on Thursdays, we take a look at education. And so it's important that people pay attention to that as well, because they can also feed back there.
Good.
Into Let's Talk About It on Thursday mornings with former Senator Adams, looking at education and the ways that we can make education reform more interesting and applicable to the current times.
That means that you're signing me up.
Well, it's not my responsibility, but I can tell you, you can talk to the folks on the radio.
Me, I talk to them.
So it's called PB&J, and it's the movement of Andre Daniel and his wife and all like-minded people to really use reading as a tool to empower and to be your personal best with Jesus, and they're always better together. You'll see the achievements that you're trying to make as well. So, Andre, thank you.
Thank you.
I really wish you well. It sounds like an initiative I hope that many people absorbed while we spoke, and as of today, set your goal to be spending at least 20 minutes a day reading to your child, reading with your child, and see the difference. And as you see the difference, share it. Share that difference. Be excited about it. Tell others about the experience as well, and let's get everyone else caught up in the same direction. Thank you so much, Andre.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
7 o'clock in Barbados. Let's bring you up to date now with some news. The regathering celebrations are being used as another mechanism to hear the cries of residents across Barbados and address their concerns. This assurance from Senior Minister Carrie Simmons, who was speaking at St. Philip the Less Anglican Church in Boscobel yesterday, where he stressed the regathering is much more than dancing and merrymaking. Trevor Thorpe was there and filed this report.
Barbadians are being told the gathering also provides another forum for their concerns to be heard and addressed. Senior Minister Carrie Simmons says it has started in St. Lucie, with matters already being dealt with.
This regathering opportunity must also be an opportunity for reinvestment in the parishes and in the communities of this country, and that reinvestment be led by you, the people of the parish. And you will have a very responsive ear of the government. We were moved by what we heard from St. Lucie, and immediately at Cabinet on Thursday, not telling any secrets out of school, but Senior Minister Duguid will confirm, as will other Cabinet colleagues here, that the Prime Minister has required that a lot of the ideas which have been taken down be now addressed and distributed out to the relevant government departments for their immediate attention.
Priest in charge of the St. Philip the Less Anglican Church, the Reverend Reginald Knight, wants Barbadians to be aware of the island's rich heritage and the importance of sharing knowledge.
To all those who come after you, what plans do they have? What plans do we have for helping to fashion the minds of our young people in a positive way? Are they being prepared, these young people of ours, by you and the wider nation for this country's next big step?
Minister of Labour and the Third Sector, Colin Jordan, says St. Peter has a major role to play in the spiritual, physical and national development of Barbados.
It will not be only about jump up, and I say that very clearly based on a few of the slightly unsavory things that I've heard. This will be a mix of jump up and celebration, of learning, of mixing. This will be a balanced program so that the people of St. Peter, the people of Barbados, the diaspora, the world is able to understand, recognize, and appreciate the significant heritage that is St. Peter.
Director of the Regathering Secretariat, Senator John King, says the St. Peter Regathering continues with the momentum started in St. Lucie.
When you look at their calendar, it is so diverse and so well crafted that there's something there for everybody. And I just want to encourage all Barbadians, wherever you are,
to give the same support that you give to St. Lucie, you give it to St. Peter, and come out and make some new friends and discover some new things about this wonderful island we call home that you probably didn't know before.
Secretariat officials have called it a beautiful day of faith, fellowship, and honoring the traditions that unite Barbadians. Trevor Thorne, CBC News.
Well, there's a suggestion. Barbados considers how people working in hospitality should be trained to cater to new trends in tourism. It comes from Chairman of the Board of Management at the Barbados Community College, the Honourable Dr. Alison Leacock. She was speaking at a service at St. Matthias Anglican Church to celebrate the 28th anniversary of the Jean and Norma Holder Institute of Hospitality.
The Jean and Norma Holder Hospitality Institute, renamed in 2020, has been training students for some 28 years. It has produced over 6,000 professionals for the hospitality industry. Chairman of the BCC board, the Honourable Dr. Alison Leacock, notes the tourism sector has changed, and she believes this is the right time to upgrade the curriculum.
We have to also focus on digital nomads, a new visitor, on leisure travel, which we understand 76% of our business travelers are combining just a little bit of leisure when they do travel. So it is an ideal time for us to upgrade our own offerings, to add personalization through data analytics, integration of advanced technology, sustainable and eco-friendly practices, health and wellness tourism, whose expenditure globally surpassed $1 trillion in 2024.
Dr. Leacock also believes there's one specific area Barbados can benefit from.
Accessible and inclusive tourism. We have 1.3 billion people with disabilities in the world, and their spending power is $13 trillion. Little Barbados could do with a fraction of that. And so including this training will ensure that our graduates remain competitive on the global stage.
The board chairman has also encouraged the students to continue to be passionate and dedicated to the hospitality sector.
Hospitality is more than a profession. It is a calling. It is a calling that reflects our character as individuals and our culture as a nation.
The Institute will continue its celebrations throughout the week with multiple activities. Sean Farrell, CBC News.
The cast of Laugh It Off has been bringing bellyful of laughter to the Barbadian public for 40 years. Executive producer Ian Eswick says they've had 165 Barbadians work with the production in one capacity or the other over those years. November 1985 was the show's very first production, and it was a collaboration of four men: Tom Cross, Tony Thompson, Guy Goring, and Winston Farrell. Mr. Eswick was reflecting on the history of the production as a new series got underway recently at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre.
Longevity is one thing, but it has to be supported. And we've always been fortunate in that we've had some very committed sponsors who believed in our product and helped us along the way. Without these companies, I don't think there would have been Laugh It Off for more than 5-6 years. It's a struggle, not only in terms of sponsorship, but other regulatory things. We were adamant that we were going to make something of this production company.
Well, the title sponsor, Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union, has been with the comedy show for the past 40 years. Chief Marketing and Member Customer Experience Officer Gail Niles says this is a partnership they will be treasuring for a very long time to come and has pledged their support.
We evolve with you, and we see ourselves as be a partner in sharing Barbadian creativity, storytelling, and social commentary. Beyond financial services, we are invested in empowering our community, and this sponsorship allows us to do that by supporting the creative institutions such as Laugh It Off that bring people together.
Barbados has lost to Colombia 3-2 in their Davis Cup World Group 1 tennis qualifier. The tie was locked at 1-1 heading into Saturday after Xavier Lawrence fell to Nicolas Mejia 6-2, 6-love in the opener rubber. But Darian King responded with a win by taking down Andrea Soriano Barbera 6-2, 6-4 to level that tie. However, the Colombians regained control after winning the doubles. That's a look at news. Until now, we'll have more news coming up at 12 noon right here on CBC TV 8. Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game with dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan?
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
12 and a half minutes now after 7 o'clock as we turn our attention to the Barbados Association of Guidance Counselors. They're having a week of activities under the theme Stronger Together, Helping Schools to Thrive. Joining us now is the President and Vice President. First, Madam President Chanel Clark, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you again.
Yes, please.
Good old St. Lucie girl indeed. And a singer, in case you forgot. And also with her, Chanel Bell Alexander. You're the Vice President, Chanel.
Hi,
congratulations.
Thank you.
What does it mean for you, Chanel Bell Alexander? Listen, this is going to get tough today, right?
Yes.
What does it mean to you to be first a member of the Barbados Association of Guidance Counselors and to act and be able to offer in the role that you are?
Well, it's a privileged position. I actually enjoy guidance counseling. I've always wanted to be in the field of psychology and to be part of the Barbados Association of Guidance Counselors. It's something that I treasure because I have a pool of resource persons. Should I have any challenges, sometimes you just need things to, bounce things off of. I have some ladies and a gentleman that are resource persons for me, and they've always, always, always come true. And to act in the capacity of vice president, well, that's a natural role for me. Somebody has to take up the leadership position, and I have no problems with it at all.
Well, Miss Clark, there's just one guidance counselor in a school population of hundreds.
Yes.
Generally, that must make your job particularly challenging.
It does make the job challenging,
but it seems as though sometimes you almost have to have many hands, be an octopus of sorts, in order to get the job done. And there's so many things that are expected of you, and you have to find the time to address them all. Sometimes I don't think that people understand that there's so many major things that we have to dip our hands in order to get things done at the schools. Fortunately, some schools, not all, have been given school counselors and school safety officers, so that has taken some of the pressure off, but not all schools have been given those. So yes, it is a very, very demanding job, and people often ask, how do you find the time?
And that was my question next, but I won't ask you since I know you don't find the time, you just do it.
Yes, that's right.
In my old days, in the dark ages, at school, the guidance counselor was the one who sat with you to determine your path educationally. But there's so much more that you do now. Help us understand the today function of a guidance counselor.
The guidance counselor, we still have to teach. We teach, albeit a small number of classes, but we still have to plan lessons, prepare for those lessons, and teach those lessons. We have to organize the health and family life education program within our schools, which means we have to manage teachers as well. And we have to do administrative work, such as collating the information to be sent on to the Ministry of Education. We have to do referrals for students who may need to be referred to places such as the Child Guidance Clinic or some other external agency. We also are responsible for the career guidance, the subject choice guidance, and what's not. We also liaise with the year heads and other teachers to make sure that students get what they have to do, and we plan special events as well, like at the school where I'm at, we have universities wanting to come in to speak with the students all the time, so that's something that we have to organize for the benefit of our students.
Now we understand why you asked the question, when you get the time to do all of this.
And let me just include there, because in addition to that, obviously, we know that children are going to face difficulties, whether or not they're social or emotional difficulties, academic difficulties, personal things, whether it's loss or grief. So the guidance counselor is also a critical role there, where you have to provide that social and personal counseling for students as well. So there's a lot of hats that we have to wear.
Is it so that each school has its own guidance counselors, or do some schools share guidance counselors?
Well, let me just say there are some schools that do have 2 guidance counselors. So I'm at St. Leonard's Boys, and we are privileged to have a male and a female counselor. St. George Secondary School also has 2 counselors, and Grantley Adams Memorial has 2 counselors. So each school has 1 counselor, and as I said, there are 3 of us that carry 2. And quite recently, there has been the addition of the school counselors and the safety officers to other secondary schools. Yeah.
So your theme is, you're talking about stronger together, helping schools thrive. Why that theme this year, Ms. Clark?
Our overall theme, or the motto of our association is, let's make a difference. And we know that we play an integral part in the school system, where most times persons will expect us almost to be magicians to get things done. And we know that our role is so widespread that our efforts, even as we work together as an association, you will realize that over the past couple of weeks there have been, unfortunately, deaths in the schools, and we were the ones who went to the schools together to offer that support to the students and to the staff. So we know that our role is so important, even in what we do with the summer work experience program, the career showcase that is about to come up, and so much more, that we understand that our role is important enough to help schools thrive in every area.
And so there's a week of activities that you're embarking on, and so walk me through what we can expect this week.
Well, we've started small because this is the very first celebration or observance of Guidance Counselors Week. So yesterday we had our church service at the Western Lake Nazarene Church of the Nazarene. Wednesday night we have an online panel discussion under the same theme, and then on Saturday it's about us. We have a social where we will fellowship together. We every time we come together, we share stories, we support each other, and that's where we know that we have that strong support system as well.
But Wednesday, Miss Bella Alexander, and I have to use the last name sports because both of them have the same first name. Wednesday is this online session. Who is that online session for, and how can people be a part of it if they are allowed?
Okay, well, we are targeting the teachers, the parents, and the students. So we have a small panel. Charnel is going to be part of the panel as our president, but in addition to that, we're also using some of our retired guidance counselors. So we have Mr. Saul Leacock, and then Miss Margaret Grant that is going to be part of that panel. And it is an online session, so persons can log on. We will share the credentials a little later, so persons can look for that on our social media platforms. We're trying to get information through GIS, so the information will be shared at a later date.
So your social media handle is?
Guidance Counselors 246.
Guidance Counselors 246. Simple assignment indeed, so it can happen. So Wednesday coming is this online forum under the theme Stronger Together, Helping Schools Thrive. I'm sure a number of you, like me, you have an interest in making sure that schools thrive. When the school community thrives, not only do our children benefit, but the community at large also benefits. And so we are all a member of that community. We need to log in and log on and engage in that upcoming discussion, that session online on Wednesday. Keep watching and following the social media platforms of the Barbados Association of Guidance Counselors and to get those credentials to log in. You believe it will be done on Zoom? What platform are you hoping to use?
I think it's going to be done on YouTube.
Okay.
Through the ministry's media resource department.
Okay, got it. So it's easy for anyone then to access wherever you are. So if you have an interest, show your interest by showing up for that session. The panel discussion is on Wednesday. What time does it start?
I think it's 7?
Yeah.
Right, 7 o'clock.
After work.
Yes.
Yes.
You can show up online indeed. And then you're having your celebration on Saturday.
Yes, please.
What's happening on Saturday?
Saturday, it is our social, where we will have a potluck. And that usually works so well that the food is as though...
take home.
Well, but it's as though it's been prepared by one chef because everybody pulls, everybody brings, and we have a good time usually.
How many members are a part of the association?
Well, there are 25. Yeah, 25. And you become a member once you pay your dues as a guidance counselor. Well, once you're a guidance counselor, we indoctrinate you and you will pay your dues and you participate in the activities that are available.
There's so much work that they do. We have to tip our hats to you ladies and gentlemen who are members of the Barbados Association of Guidance Counselors across our school system. You manage hundreds and thousands of children every single day while doing your other expected work.
Yes.
And you have to put yourself aside because you also have your family things to deal with.
That's right.
I like that, Chanel. And so doing all of that, it's self-sacrificial.
Yes, it is.
It's time-consuming, but we are happy to know that you're able to help our school system thrive, to keep it as safe as possible and to help guide our children in the ways that they ought to be guided.
Yes.
And to be able to do so consistently every day means that you have to really deny self.
Yes.
Take up that cross and definitely follow Jesus into school every day. So Bella Alexander, is this the job that you've always wanted to do?
Yes, I did my degree in psychology. That has been always my interest. Continued my master's is in counseling psych, and I've been registered as a counseling psychologist. But I love the opportunity to work directly in schools because I have students right there, and I can be a resource person for them, not just when they're going through crisis, but being there for them all the time. So this week is about bringing awareness to the guidance counselors and letting persons know what we do and inviting them to make use of us as a resource as well.
I'm telling you, when you see the change in people's behavior, the improvement that is, then it's a tremendous reward, and no doubt that's why you ladies continue to do so. Your members of your association continue to do so. Yes. I wish you well.
Thank you.
With this week of activities. Remember, Wednesday, we are going to be all joining online for the online panel discussion, taking a look at the theme, Stronger Together, Helping Schools Thrive. That is going to be, so keep listening to as to where online you can find it. But you know, I know you are good detectives, you'll do your own search and you'll find it. And then on the weekend, all members of the Barbados Association of Guidance Counselors will get together to have a good potluck fun time. Indeed. Wishing you well, and thank you so much for the work that you do.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you too.
Now, our question of the day is also for you. Name for me, tell me one goal that you'd like to achieve this week. Clark.
This week, I would love to bring much more awareness to the role of a guidance counselor at the St. Michael's School, so that students, teachers, everybody would understand how much we do and the dedication that we put into it.
When you started, Belle Alexander said cheese or bread. It was going in that direction. Were
Indeed,
you?
Yes.
So
yes, but my thing is, just so that persons recognize guidance counselors are not some person I run to when I am in crisis, and you know it has to be something bad that is happening. Right. Make use of the guidance counselors even before things, you know, kind of get exacerbated. That is going to be my goal. I want to be one where you come if you need academic assistance, you know, that guidance, anything before the crisis actually happens.
Or just need to thaw out.
Yes.
Come and sit
a safe
down
space.
It's a safe space. That's where it is.
And you don't mind when someone just comes and occupies your space?
Don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're good.
That's our rule.
Thank you so much, Chanel and Chanel. Wish you all the best. Morning Barbados continues right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Don't forget, vacation is on. You have until the 15th of February to get your entries in. Remember, 30 to 90 seconds in video telling us your love story. Be sure to also send along your name and a measure of contact so that we can reach out to you should you be chosen. So send those vacation videos in by WhatsApp to 467-5465, or you may send them by email to marketing@cbc.bb. And good luck to that lucky couple or those lucky couples. There are 4 staycations that we have in store for you, plus a special prize. Don't want to tell you what that is, but so good luck to all of you indeed. We're 7:30 in Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. We turn our attention now to a spectacle that's happening this weekend. Everything happening on Saturday, it feels like. It's the Barbados cheerleading competition for ladies, of course. Or is it multi-gender?
Not this time around.
Okay, that's the voice of Tracy Leacock. She's the cheerleading coordinator with the National Sports Council. Next to her is Ariane Ford, who is herself a cheerleader, fit as a fiddle. Next to her is Adrienne Thorpe, who is the coach. And these 2 latter ladies are with the St. Michael's School. So Tracy, talk to me about why this cheerleading competition and when it is.
Okay, the cheerleading competitions that is organized by the National Sports Council. We've not had this competition for about 10 years. Various reasons why. However, during the past 2 years, we would have noticed that schools were getting back into cheerleading. So the competition is now organized where schools can come together as a unit, have fun, showcase their talent, and just basically just have another avenue, another sport for them to participate in. So hence, for the first time again in 10 years, we are back, and we want to make it as spectacular as possible. So yeah, we have quite a few schools on board, and we are looking forward to this weekend.
This is almost like a final. This is not an elimination. This is it.
This is it.
And so which schools are participating this weekend?
We have for sure St. Michael's, because they were the last champions back in 2014. We have St. George, we have Harrison College, Lodge School, Alexandra, Combermere, Ellerslie, and Parkinson on board. We would have had a few withdrawals, but for reasons beyond our control, but we still will make it as grand as possible.
You know, my ears were pricked to hear Coleridge and Parry, but...
Yes, they had.
Alas, no.
They had some challenges.
Okay.
They were in, but they had some challenges. So unfortunately, they had to withdraw.
That's my personal bias, so you got to forgive me right there indeed. So when we come to the gym, is the gymnasium?
Yes, it is.
Right. On Saturday, from what time?
From 5 o'clock in the evening. Doors open at 4.
Okay, because I could sit there and watch it and say, okay, that's a good tumble. They threw her high. They didn't fall. What is the judging criteria? Do you have that?
The judging criteria would be the stunts, the pyramids, the audience engagement, several things, but mostly that. I would have called that criteria. So our judges are in place. They're also ready. They're also excited. Everyone is excited at the moment.
What comes out of all of this, though?
Out of all of this, we are creating a space for more cheerleaders. We want persons to be aware that there is another sport. So the association, the clubs now have a greater pool of girls and boys at some point to pull from. Yeah.
Right. So Adrienne, you are the coach of the St. Michael's School, the repeating champions. Is that pressure?
It is, yes and no, because this is a brand new group of girls. As Tracy would have said, it's been a while for this competition. But no pressure, no pressure. We're going to be ready. We're going to take on the challenge.
No pressure, no pressure. So how are you preparing the young ladies to be a part of this competition?
Well, me along with myself, because I'm not the only coach, there is me along with, Shanique could get in. She's the other coach. We would have been fairly new to the coaching arena. We would have only been started coaching about 3 years. And this is a brand new set of girls who are not accustomed to the competition cheerleading. Because for a while, cheerleading has really just been about, you know, dance and just showcasing little elements here and there at events. But the competition aspect is new to these girls, because cheerleading is also new to most of our girls. So we are taking notes from our past coaches who would have coached us, because we were cheerleaders, and criteria and good guidership from the Barbados Cheerleading Federation. So we're preparing steadily. It's been preparing for the time that we have started, because we would have started with girls when we would have started in 2022, the girls who would have started in first farm would obviously still be on the team, but then again, they're new girls. So some girls would have already had an idea, and then some girls are starting fresh again. So it could be challenging, but we're pushing through.
So here it is now, you are with, we could understand track and field. We get that. You have to, certain techniques. What are the techniques I should be looking for when we come to the gymnasium on Saturday, so we can assess it ourselves as armchair critics?
Okay, so with the competition, it showcases the different elements in cheerleading. So you have elements like not only dance, but there's tumbling, stunting, jumps, and chant. So when you're looking for like tumbling, you're looking at skills like, ooh, how high did this cheerleader go? How straight were her legs? When you're going for stunting, is like, okay, is that flyer looking shaky? Is that flyer looking strong and confident? And then with dance, of course, the energy, the facials, the execution of the movements. So that's, you guys can be a little help with the judges and be a bit of a critic. So you guys got a little knowledge and a little insight of what it is you're looking for.
Ariane, did you feel safe to do this?
Yes, actually.
Are you the one who's thrown into the air? What role do you play?
No, I'm a back spot. I am the one helping the cheerleader in the air.
A back spot?
Yes.
You see, I don't even know there's a position called the back spot. So you're the one who's helping to support the one who's tossed into the air. How many years have you been doing this now?
3 years, soon to be 4.
And how much time do you dedicate to being the best cheerleader you could possibly be?
3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
And what does Mommy say about all of this time taken up with this here?
She's okay with it.
She's okay with it. And I'm sure that the support you get from your friends and your family means a lot to you.
Yes, please.
So in terms of being ready for Saturday, how confident are you?
As confident as one can be. We prepared, and I believe we'll be ready by Saturday.
In terms of knowing that you are coming into this competition on Saturday, hoping to repeat the success of the team from 10 years ago, it rests on St. Michael's School. Is that pressure?
No, no pressure.
You only say that now. Have you had a chance to suss out any of the other schools who have cheerleading groups at all to see how they're performing?
No.
Why? You don't want to know the competition?
No, we're focusing on us.
Adrienne, what about you? Have you been sussing out the rest of the competition?
Yes, we definitely have. The coaches are all, you know, very friendly, and we all have a relationship as coaches that are all a part of the Barbados Cheerleading Federation. So we do have that relationship with other coaches. We do have a bit of insight on others' routines, but we kind of work together, you know. Yeah, it's competition, but it's friendly competition. So all the coaches work together. You know, we sometimes even advise each other and, you know, help give pointers when somebody's weak in this area or whatnot. But the kids are looking pretty good.
She's confident, she's confident, she's confident, Tracy. I love it.
Yeah, all the groups.
But there's a choreography to the whole thing as well. So I suppose you have a choreographer as well who helps you with movement, and I don't know.
Oh, it all depends. Each coach should be well versed in each element of the cheerleading to be able to do each routine. But some people do call in gymnastics coaches. Some people do call in dance choreographers for assistance. But yeah.
And so, Ariane, what about you? Are you comfortable with the dance moves and everything else?
Yes, sir. I've been in dancing since I was a little kid.
Wow. And so that helps, doesn't it? So, after this competition, is this something you'd like to take very seriously? Because I'm sure you're going to be looking to go to university somewhere else outside of Barbados and get involved in those international cheerleading groups as well. Is this something that's actively engaging your mind?
Yes, it would be lovely if I could do it after school, as it's something I enjoy very much.
Because it's something you enjoy?
Yes.
And again, have you had that discussion with your parents?
Yeah.
Because, you know, parents have a wish for their children, right, Tracy? That says it's all well and good for you to have some fun. But when it comes to something else, you know, get a job. They don't see that to be a job. But nonetheless, I'm so enthused by your excitement for what you're doing. And so, Tracy, again, on Saturday, at the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium from 5 in the afternoon.
5 p.m. in the afternoon. We're going to have cheer, of course, lots of cheer, but we also have some entertainment coming. We have Mikey is going to be there, Bruce Lee Almighty, and Tion Hernandez are going to be there. We have door prizes, so we just want to encourage everyone to come out and support this event and just to support the cheerleaders, so especially all their friends, all the schools to come out and support their schools. But what I neglected to say earlier is that we have some exhibitionists, and that is Shirley Chisholm and St. George Primary, the primary schools, because we do have primary schools on board, and these little people are so cute. They are so cute. I would have seen them perform at another event, and they are ready. They are the most exciting cheerleaders that you would ever see. So they're going to be there to support the older ones as well. So we just want everybody to come out and support this event. And the cheerleaders, because cheerleading is a sport that I love. Outside of my first sport, it is the other sport. I would have been trained in cheerleading many years ago, but I wanted to bring this back because seeing how many girls are getting involved, yes, they see the glitz and the glamour, but there's lots of athleticism involved in cheerleading. So then we have these girls exposed to something else as well.
That's fantastic. So it's Saturday at 5. Do you have to pay to come in?
Yes, there's an entrance fee of $20. And again, you will be possibly the recipient of a door prize from one of our sponsors.
Right.
Yeah.
So where do I get tickets from?
Tickets will be sold at the door.
At the door, okay.
Yes. So just come, pay your $20, and you have access to this beautiful spectacle of cheerleading.
Something tells me, ladies of St. Michael Cougars, that, you know, that you're going to pack up the rafters out there, that there's going to be so much noise in support of the St. Michael School and all of the other schools as well. Yes. So we want to encourage the school community to come out and support your school. We want to encourage the community in which these young ladies live to come out and support your compatriot. We want to encourage all of you to really come to the gymnasium on Saturday for 5. Doors open at 4.
Yes.
Early o'clock you can be there and take your seat. $20 is all it is. $20 for a really, really good evening of fun, dance, cheers. You can dominate. Then who will dominate? Who really will dominate? I'm trying to read the screen from this distance.
Yes.
But we'd like you to really come out and be a part of this cheerleading competition for 2025.
Yes.
And as you're saying, coming out of this, we're developing the skill.
Yes.
But there's no opportunity for the winning cheerleading team to be somewhere else to practice, to show off?
These cheerleading teams are actually involved in quite a lot of events in Barbados. I know there's Whole Town, and I know that is coming up for them. So while this is a school event, it gives them the opportunity to practice for their other events coming up, because I know that they also have nationals coming up. So yes, and again, because we're bringing it back for the first time in 10 years, we also want the awareness that it's going to be on the calendar for now and forevermore.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Now and forevermore. Amen. I'm with you on that, indeed. Tracy Liko, I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Young Ariane Ford, I wish you the best as well, you and your teammates. How many members are part of the team?
29?
Almost
26.
30 of you to perform on Saturday?
Yep.
That's a large contingent.
Yes,
and that's generally kind of size that we're talking about, Tracy?
Yes.
Wow.
15 and up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Adrienne, this is big.
There's an interest the young ladies are seeing, you know, as Tracy would have said, there are more and more schools getting involved in cheerleading, and it's becoming a spectacle. So you have people joining within middle of the year, not because obviously tryouts are usually held at the beginning of the school year, but then for any time students see like, wow, this is what the cheerleaders are doing, and you're joining in the midst of the program and stuff like that.
This is going to be big.
It's getting bigger and bigger, and that's the plan,
That's
to
the
get
plan.
bigger and bigger.
That is the plan, and in the future I have another element to add to it. So again, just watch now and see how it grows.
folks, this is big. I'm telling you, this is big. So we all have to be there at the gymnasium on Saturday. It begins at 5. Doors open at 4. You can pay at the door your $20. But this is a big event. Big competition coming from big contingents of cheerleaders. And they're going to be quite a display indeed. But may the best cheerleading team win. Cougars.
Got you.
Thank you so very much, Adrienne and Ariane and Tracy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, before I go, I have a question of the day for you. What's that one goal you wish you could achieve this week, Tracy?
This week, one goal I wish to achieve is that persons will become more aware that cheerleading is a sport, not just a spectacle. It looks pretty, but it is a sport, and I want to have more persons involved. So this week is about getting them aware, and the competition is showing them the end product of that.
That's lovely. Adrienne?
For me, my goal would be to, one, get through the week, but also to make sure that I am, well equipped to make sure that my girls are well equipped for this weekend, and to just be able to continue to provide that safe space with them at practice where they can de-stress from school or unwind and just, release and have fun.
Ariane, no pressure. What's your goal?
This week, my goal would be to have a good performance for our upcoming school sports this Friday and also the competition Saturday.
Where do you find the time?
Yeah.
So what are you doing on Friday?
Friday is our school's sports. Glow sports.
You'll do the lights.
Glow
yes,
sports.
glow
Right.
sports. And yeah,
You're
20
running?
hours.
What are you doing? Jumping, running, skip? What?
Cheering.
You're
Actually,
cheering?
we perform at glow sports every
I thought
year.
you were doing something else. You had me there for a minute. Multi-talented you will be. Thank you so much. All the best indeed to you, okay?
Thank you.
All righty, good. Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
12 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. This is the story of a young lady who at 7 years old left Barbados. She went all over the place. Now she's found herself rooted in India, as a matter of fact. And what an interesting last name she actually has. I tell you, we could find a Bajan anywhere. Leslie Stalecker. Good morning to you, Leslie.
Good morning, Kirsten. How are you?
I am well, thank you. And these two little sweet ones are your daughters, twin girls. Did you hear me, Leslie?
Annabelle here.
Oh, look at that. And the one to your left, girl, you're growing up fast. Those two little front teeth are gone. That means that you're going to be a big girl just now. Pardon me? Ah, they're growing back. All right, well, congratulations to you indeed. So, Leslie, we're going to try to get this sorted out so we can keep a steady connection with you. I know that my technical crew is working on that, but what a smile indeed. And look at those two lovely little ladies in there. We're going to introduce you to them in just a moment. But Leslie left Barbados at the age of 7. She was born here, and at the age of 7, she moved to Tortola. But then she came back, and then she completed her latter education, tertiary education, and then off she went to the United Kingdom, and she fell in love, and so here she is now in India. What a story to travel indeed. So Leslie, right, so talk to me a little bit about your life. At 7 years old, you were uprooted and off to Tortola you went. What memory of Barbados did you have at that stage, do you think?
So I have a pretty strong memory at that stage. I do remember I went to St. Paul's, and I remember my friends at St. Paul's. I remember my teacher when I left.
Wow.
I remember that when I was going, they had a really nice, they gave me a really nice bag, and I still have it to this day. It's in Barbados, and I still have it. And, you know, I still had really strong core memories of Barbados at the time that I left when I was 7 years old.
But you know,
wonderful memories.
I am telling you, that's fantastic. You still have those memories. But you left here, you went to the U.S. Virgin Islands, and then you came back here into 5th and 6th form to do your higher tertiary education. And so I'm sure when you came back to Barbados at that stage, you came back a different girl from the one who left in the first place. What do you remember to be some of those changes?
So, I mean, I talked different. I left, I'm pretty sure, with a very strong Bajan accent. And when I came back, I had some mismatch of a BVI accent mixed with Barbados. It was all over the place. So I'm sure that was pretty different. And, you know, I wasn't as familiar with Barbados as I was when I had left, of course. So there were some people who would say, well, and for me, Barbados was really big because, you know, Tortola is so small, and in comparison, Barbados is huge. So I always felt like Barbados is really, really big.
Wow. And we feel it's big too. Trust me, we do here sitting on this rock. But then you left and you went to the United Kingdom, and you've met this man. I'm sorry, little girls, close your ears. But you met the man who became the love of your life, and you got married. So talk to me about that connection and what happened thereafter for you, Leslie.
So when I met my husband, his name is Kai, and when I met Kai, we used to do a lot of traveling together. So we would, and he's from Germany, so I visited him in Germany, he visited me in Barbados and in the Virgin Islands, and we would travel so much together. And when we got married, everybody used to wonder, well, where are the two of y'all going to end up? Everybody said, you know, maybe you'll end up in Barbados, or you'll end up in Germany, or in Europe, or somewhere. And what happened was that when we got engaged, his uncle, who works in, the family has a garment manufacturing company, and they've been manufacturing undergarments for over 140 years now. And one of the things that his uncle did was to say, well, look, we're thinking of opening up a supplier in India. Would you like to run it? And I told him, look, if somebody offers you a job in India, there's one thing to do, take it. And we took it and we hit the ground running, and, you know, the rest is history, as they say.
Wow. Immersing yourself in the Indian culture, which is again vastly different from the Caribbean culture. How has that been for you?
So, you know, I'll take a step back and I'll say there's some things that have been similar. So in terms of the food, and, you know, there's like, you know, the mangoes and the, you know, Krista feeds and all these things that we have at home. I can get everything I want. I can go to the supermarket. I can get bananas. I can get everything I can get at home. I can get here. Even, Pearson, believe it or not, I can get dunks. I can get Bajan cherries. I just discovered, yes, Bajan cherries as well.
Whoa.
I just discovered. I can get them here as well, like grown naturally in the, you know, I can pick them off a tree. So in that sense, it's been quite easy. Of course, the language as well, because here people, they speak English. So obviously, that's been an ease for me. Had I gone to Germany, I would have been struggling. I would have had to learn German. But here, I can speak my mother tongue, and it's fantastic. The weather as well, because we're based in the south of India. So the weather is just like at home. It's just here a bit more humid, but it's the same thing. I never have to look at a weather app ever, hardly. It's always the same thing, day in, day out. And the way people relate to each other as well. So the way I've grown up, both in Barbados and in the Virgin Islands, as a child, I would have gone to my friends' houses in the neighborhood. I would have gone riding my bicycle, and my parents never had to, be a helicopter parent, so to speak. And the girls have the same experience. On Sunday mornings, they wake up and they go from house to house to house, and someone will call me and say, don't worry, the girls are having breakfast at my house, or, things like that. So in that sense, it was really similar. And, things, like social time. So if you tell someone, I have a function on the weekend, it's going to be at 5. I know if I get there at 5, it won't start on time. So things like that is quite similar. But there are other things that have taken a while to adjust to. So one of those things, the culture, the position of women in India as well, because it's still very conservative. So there are things that I may do without thinking, and then I realize, that's not the way it's done here. There's a different way to do it, and so just being aware of the culture in that sense, and respecting it when appropriate to do so. So yeah, so one of those things, those kinds of stories are really what would have been a challenge in the beginning.
I'm watching the way you cradle your girls. It tells me you love them immensely. So what are you teaching them about Barbados?
So the girls they're full on Bajan. So I must confess, I love crop over. So the girls know that when crop over is coming up, they know the playlist in the car is going to change. They're going to hear all the songs. They know the food and everything of Barbados. They also, thanks to so many relatives and friends in Barbados, I really have to give a special shout out to all the people who make sure that the girls are immersed in their Barbadian culture, because they say it takes a village to raise a child, and that is so true. It doesn't matter if your village is right next to you or if they're afar. But my relatives, they have sent the girls T-shirts, they've sent coloring books, things all Barbadiana. Once there's something, they've sent for the girls and made sure that they know, about Barbados. And one of the really interesting things, and it happened today, was that the girls did a video for their school. They're learning about currency, and they took to school Barbados $5, and the school made a video about it. Yes. So they showed currencies of the world, and they showed Barbadian currency. So the girls were very proud about that, to be featured and talk about Barbados, where their mother is from.
That is fantastic. The one to your right, what's her name?
This is Annabelle in the green.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome. Tell me what you know about Barbados?
That in Barbados, it's a small island, but when you're in it, it looks like so big.
You're so cute. Thank you. And the name of the other child?
This is Charlotte.
Hello, Charlotte. How are you?
So they actually have Indian names. So this is Anu, and this is Shalu. So Anu, Shalu.
Okay, Shamu. Got you. Shamu, how are you doing?
Thank you. And in India, it's very nice, since if you're very cold, you can just stand outside and be under the sun, and then you'll just get burnt. That's my favorite thing, to get burnt in the sun.
Oh, that's beautiful. The innocence of children is amazing. So no doubt, Leslie, they keep you grounded. They keep you firm on who you are and the things that you want to teach them. I can't imagine living in a different culture and you're trying to maintain your own identity where you're struggling with all of the competing cultures around you, but you're able to somehow immerse your girls in what it is to be Barbadian. And I love the fact that you continue to do that. Where in Barbados are you from?
So I grew up in Chancery Lane when I lived there. Then when I moved to Barbados at 16, my aunt and uncle, I lived with them in Husband's Gardens.
Yes.
And because my parents, they still live in the Virgin Islands. So I grew up in Chancery Lane, but also Husband's Gardens.
When was the last time you were in Barbados?
So the last time I was in Barbados, it would have been Crop Over 2023. We came and we had a fantastic time. The girls loved Crop Over. They watched the bands. We stood up in Bank Hall and they watched the bands pass. They loved it. I think this was one of the highlights of their 6 years of life. And, you know, my brother told me, he said, you wait until those girls are of age, they're going to jump in the band. I said, I'm here for it.
That is so beautiful indeed. I got to leave it there, but it is so wonderful meeting you and Amu and Shamu as well. They are the Starlackers. I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning and for teaching your girls about what it means to be Barbadian and having your full family help you to do so in a space where it is sometimes a little difficult because you're competing with all the different cultures. Thank you very, very much, and have yourselves all, ladies, a beautiful day.
Thank you so much. It was our pleasure. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, there we go. The Starlackers, they're in India by way of Barbados, British Virgin Islands, Germany, India. There they are. And so that's it for today, everybody. Thank you so very much for keeping us company. Remember, don't keep this a secret. Tell others to join us again tomorrow. Our little crew says thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.